Very good evening and welcome to today's session on how to start a cloud kitchen. We have Chef Vishwanath Pandey with us today to tell us more about a successful module of how to operate a cloud kitchen. And Chef Vishy comes from a very rich background, culinary background from the hospitality industry. Vishy today to take over and run us through how to operate a successful cloud kitchen. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being with us today.
Eddie, and welcome to all of you. Nice to see you all here. Friends, today we are going to crack down the future of what's called cloud kitchens, the future of food service industry. That's also called cloud kitchens. You have taken the first step towards success, and you're going to see today what a successful startup means in the food industry. Today, I'm going to run through the setup of a cloud kitchen, how you can set up a cloud kitchen. Let me start by telling you what Total Hospitality is. Total Hospitality is also called THI Hospitality Consultants Private Limited. We are based out of Hyderabad, Oman, and Bangalore. We have 3 offices. Cloud kitchens is the future of food service. Friends, today the internetization of food is catching up so much that cloud kitchens are in rave. And if you look at the startups that are there in today's world, cloud kitchen has its mark. And it's one of the favorite startups that you can see that the world has today. What do we do? We are hotel facility planners and kitchen consultants. So we basically help hotels come up. We design the back of the house of hotels, and our principal concept is effective utilization of resources and maximizing of profits through minimalizing of costs. We are also members of Telangana State Hotel Association, Telangana Chef Association, and that is again a member of the World Association of Chefs. Why us? We are a professional team with more than 2 decades of experience. We have been there in the industry for around about 25 years. We have done 300 plus projects. We are an ISO certified company, and we have global presence, India and Middle East majorly. There's a small glimpse of what we do. We are not only kitchen consultants, we are also hotel consultants. And we are proud and honored to be having our articles come in and express food and hospitality, Horeca India, Hotelier India. We have won consecutively 3 awards from Epicurus as the best hospitality consultant of South India. And we were also listed in the top 25 consultants of the country. These are some testimonials that we have got. We do hotels from 5-star, 3-star to standalone. These are some industries where we offer our works: hotels and resorts, convention centers, bakeries, sweet shops, food courts, hospitals, manufacturing industries, restaurants, corporate offices, malls, food factories, and airline catering. Here we come. Today we are going to speak all about cloud kitchens. Have you heard this word cloud kitchen before? If yes, great. If not, you must have heard a synonym of it. They call it ghost kitchens, shadow kitchens, dark kitchens, virtual kitchens. It is also called a virtual restaurant. Yes, friends, it's also called a virtual restaurant. So what is a cloud kitchen? How does it work? Cloud kitchen is a model where you really don't have to think of doing the sale. The sale is taken care of by a third-party aggregator, and you really don't have to think of doing the delivery. Yes, if you want to do the delivery yourself, you are welcome to do the delivery by yourself, but otherwise you have third-party aggregators who are there, who will take care of the sale and will take care of the delivery. What you have to do is, the order comes from the aggregator, you need to cook and pack the food well. That is what you need to do, and then whisk away the delivery to the particular place. In case you have your own circle and you have orders that are coming to you directly, then you will have to use your sales boys, your delivery boys to deliver the food. In this, friends, if you think you have a product that you make very well, if you think you have one cuisine that you're very strong of, if you think there is a food line that you can cook, even a single product can become a cloud kitchen. If you see the quick service restaurants like McDonald's, McDonald's was based on one burger that they created. And the aura around the burger was done to create a brand by itself. So even if you have one great dish with you that you make, you think you make a good biryani, you have a dish that you make well, there can be a product line that can be created for you to make a cloud kitchen. And your investment is as low as 5 lakhs onwards. Depends on the cuisine that you can actually create the budget for your cloud kitchen. How does it work? Why does it work? Yes, cloud kitchens work because they're very low on real estate cost. See, when you're doing a virtual restaurant or a cloud kitchen, so-called cloud kitchen, you really don't have the front end at all. Because you don't have the front end, you don't have the seating capacity that you have to create. You don't have people coming, sitting down at your place. You don't have an air-conditioned, non-air-conditioned space. You take a very small space. So if you're doing a roll kitchen, possibly you'll be doing a kitchen between 200 to 400 square feet of cloud kitchen. And if you're doing a bigger size one, you might do a 800 to 1500 square feet of a kitchen to the max. That includes the storage area and so on and so forth. So your real estate cost becomes less because you have a smaller space that you're going to cater out of. Secondly, it doesn't have to be on the main road. This is a dark kitchen. You don't have to be visible to anybody. So this can be where inside the lane. It can be on the 4th floor, 5th floor of any building, not an issue. The point is you need to be there where the riders are accessible to you. The riders are able to come to you and take the food and go. That is the only thing that you will have to keep in mind. So when you're taking a real estate inside, your real estate cost inside will be lower. Second, you have better and faster expansion possibilities. This is because if you create a brand, to create a brand, you need to only establish standard recipes and standard operating procedures. If you're able to do these two things, standard recipes and standard operating procedures, then you're done. You can actually start at looking at expanding your brand because you just need to think of dishing out the food properly and packaging it right. The third thing is lower overhead costs. If you look at overhead costs, your costs are only in the kitchen that you're going to spend. You're not going to spend on people from the valet to the doorman to the people in the restaurant. You don't have all that at all. And so it is very easy for you to actually have a very low overhead cost. Friends, this is a small drift that is happening towards the cloud kitchens. A lot of the restaurants too are looking at having a cloud kitchen parallelly to whatever they are doing today. Yes, so it is not only that you cook good, great food, even if you're an entrepreneur who has a great idea of creating a menu that you want to kill and get into the market, then this is the right platform. So now when we consider cloud kitchens, we'll have to look at the pros and cons. So when you look at the pros of cloud kitchen, it is a low investment as we spoke about. But yes, it is high on the aggregator charges. Yes, friends, if you look at Swiggy, Zomato, and the other aggregators who are there, the charges are between 25 to 30%. People say 20 to 25%, but then it lands up between 25, it comes up to 25%, including the GST. Although you collect the GST from the guests, but then yes, you should take 25% into per se that what you give. Then you have low operating costs. Yes, you have very low operating costs as we discussed, but the customer data masking is there. You really don't know whom you're sending the food to. That thing is missing when you're doing a cloud kitchen. High market opportunity, yes. See, you would tend to reach places that possibly you never thought you would reach. Through the third-party aggregators, your reach becomes immense. And yes, the con is that your low profit margins, you work on a lower profit because you're paying a sum to the aggregator. Ease in expansion. There is an ease in expansion because you have a smaller market or a smaller operation that you're really working on. So you can easily standardize the operational procedures, and also you can easily standardize the process. So if you're able to standardize your recipes and operation, then it is easy for you to expand. Con is you have no interaction with the customer at all. You have low interaction in case you have some issues, but otherwise you have no interaction with the customers. Yes, so there you have a con where you don't interact with the customer, but yes, you get the feedback online. But why is the cloud kitchen in demand? The cloud kitchen in demand because most of the people look at less expensive rentals. They have great food with them, so they are very happy to give food out of low rentals, which is the biggest problem today in the urban sector. Second is no need of client-facing staff. So when you don't have client-facing staff, you really don't have to work on the service aspect and the air conditioning and hygiene aspects outside. You just have to work on the hygiene aspects behind the door in the kitchen. Low overhead costs, yes, your costs, lower overhead costs are low. That again contributes to 25% of the people who look at low overhead costs on repeated basis, because of which they look at this aspect. And 15% look at more scope of expansion. Yes, if you want to create a brand, it is very easy for you to create a brand through this model. It is very easy for you to expand and go multi-cities. It is very easy for you to create a brand within the city too. What is the difference between a cloud kitchen and a restaurant? How do you compare both of these? When you compare both of these, it is one benefit that you have because it is totally online. It is easy to track orders in the cloud kitchen. But when you come to restaurants, the effort needed to track order is quite more. Your investment here is quite low. There, your investment is quite high. Here, it is easy to expand. There, it is difficult to expand the business because you have a lot of things that you need to get together for you to start expanding. Yes, here the interaction is less with the customers. There, the interaction with customers is very strong. So saying all this, after looking at all this also, don't think that the restaurants are not good. Finally, if you see, the experience is still the king. Whatever said and done, the final experience that you could see or get out of a restaurant is always going to stay, and that is going to be the king. But why cloud kitchen? Yes, cloud kitchen because low capital risk. 2, quick payback, where you can look at a payback close to less than 12 months. 35%, 3 to 5% of rent to sales ratio. So your rent and sales ratio becomes 3 to 5%, whereas in a restaurant you end up paying 15% or so. And then it is easily scalable. And you can also do a multi-brand kitchen or a cloud kitchen. Yes, friends, you can also do a multi-brand cloud kitchen. Today's trends. Today's trends are restaurants are getting internetized. What do you mean by this is people are using the internet a lot. You have smartphones in everybody's hands and they're looking for great food directly on the phone or on the internet. And this is the new trend. Keeping Corona in mind, people are not wanting to go out much, but yes, instead of dine out, dining in is catching up. This is the new trend. Dining in is the new trend. So you're getting contactless service that is being given to you, and you have your food at your doorstep. So people are looking at aggregators who are able to maintain good hygiene standards and are placing orders from wherever they are certifying and getting food at home. So cloud kitchens is on a race right now during COVID and is doing really great. Cloud kitchens are low footprint spaces with low cost format. And this is how people are ready to invest into a cloud kitchen and use this module. In Cloud Kitchen, the brand experience is only because of this packaging. The packaging that you see here, this is your brand ambassador, and this talks about your outlet. So packaging plays a major role in cloud kitchens. Now, as I was telling you, Cloud Kitchens gives enormous access to customer base. Friends, if you try opening a restaurant, try opening a kitchen and try doing it yourself, you might not be able to reach places that you could reach using Zomato and Swiggy. In other countries, you have the other players who are there. But yes, keeping the aggregators in place helps you reach multiple spaces. What you rightly have to do is only three things. One, cooking food nicely. That is, you'll have to make tasty food, packaging it rightly, and yes, giving it on time. If you look at all these things and you think, yes, I'm cooking food, but I really don't know whom I'm serving. I really don't know who's taking my food. I'm totally depending on an aggregator. If you think, yes, it is confusing and not right, but friends, let me tell you, this is not a new phenomenon at all. This phenomenon has been there and we have been using this phenomenon before also. How? If you really remember, we have consumer goods. Consumer goods, brand owners are different and distributors are different. We have been using distributors to sell the consumer goods. Your soap is manufactured by one company, say Godrej, but it is not delivered by Godrej. You have distributors who distribute these soaps. Similarly, the same aspect and principle has come into our industry, the hospitality industry, and these are the aggregators who have come as distributors of the food. How does the model of Cloud Kitchen work? You generally have a central kitchen where you receive the orders and people like Uber Eats, Zomato, Swiggy, or if you have any other online platform, they help you dish out the food to the customers. Yes, there are some people who have their own delivery system because they have their own space of contacts that whom they serve food to, and also they use their Cloud Kitchen for food kiosks. You can make multiple selling points out of one kitchen. We'll run you through one of our Cloud Kitchens that we have done.
नंबर ऑफ रूम के लिए इसके आगे नंबर ऑफ रूम सेट कर दें वो शीट में ऐड किया
Yes, now that you have seen a Cloud Kitchen, the Cloud Kitchen basically has a very hygienic setup and you are dishing out the same restaurant food from a kitchen at a locality where you want to serve the food. So what are the types of Cloud Kitchens that you really could have? You have Cloud Kitchens that are standalone single branded Cloud Kitchens. Say if you're starting a Cloud Kitchen now, you would fall into the first segment where you would be a standalone single brand Cloud Kitchen. Or you could be the second option where you'll be a multi-brand Cloud Kitchen. Multi-brand Cloud Kitchen means where you might have 2-3 cuisines served. So you might possibly be a brand where you're serving, say if you're serving South Indian food, you might be serving South Indian food. You might also want to give milkshakes and juices. So you become a multi-brand Cloud Kitchen. You will have 2 brand names and you will serve out of 2 brand names from the same kitchen. So in case you're entering right now, you would be either a standalone single brand Cloud Kitchen or a multi-brand Cloud Kitchen. In case not, then you could also be a virtual restaurant. Virtual restaurant means you have an extensive kitchen where you're trying to give the restaurant food from one place, and you would have a bigger kitchen, little more number of staff, and you will have multiple kind of food that you're going to serve from this particular kitchen. Other than this, you have co-working kitchen spaces. People are establishing kitchen spaces and giving you spaces within a larger kitchen that they're creating, in which you just have to go and take up your space and create your kitchen. So you really don't have to look for real estate space. You have a kitchen already available. There are people who are running the kitchens from there, and you go place your kitchen there. The next type of kitchen would be a cloud kitchen operator. So operators are there who are creating multiple kitchens and giving you, it is just a plug and play model where you just have to go in and take your chefs, take your recipes, take your ingredients and start working from there. Zomato helps people set up such kitchens and gets brands and gives them a plug and play space. Similarly, you have an operator managed cloud kitchen like the Swiggy kitchens and Zomato kitchens, which is also managed by the operator, where they also help you get good orders from there. Now, friends, there are multiple other people who are wanting to come into such spaces. You have Amazon that's trying to come into this line. You have Reliance that is looking at coming into this line. So this line is quite in limelight right now. And because you don't have great brands, nationally expanded brands are not there across the globe, there is a lot of chance for the Indian brands to come up and flourish. Why don't you think when burger can travel from US to India, why not a biryani that travels from India to US? There is a possibility. Yes, if you want to start, you want to get in, the best way to get into the food industry is not doing a restaurant or a hotel right now. The best way to get into the food industry is doing a cloud kitchen. You do a small investment, try and see your concept is working or not, and then if you think, yes, it's really doing good, you can think big, real big. If you wish to, you can even look at moving to different countries and spaces. Yes, friends, it is possible, and it can be in any one of these formats. We will come and see as we go by, we will see bigger brands, how they have come and how they have flourished. Next, we will get into how much does it cost for a cloud kitchen in India. If you look at cloud kitchens in India, you will have to break it down into two parts. One is the operations cost and another is the marketing cost. So for operations, what do you need? For operations, you need a rented space. So you'll take a rented space. The rented space has to have water, drainage, electricity for sure, and you will create the ventilation and equipment. But then yes, the rent, you will take a smaller space. So I assume that it will be between 10 to 40,000, depending on the city and the area that you're putting your kitchens in. And then you'll need to take food license, that is important again, which will be between 15 to 18,000 rupees. You will also have to take kitchen equipment, for which you will have to design your kitchen and see what are the equipments required according to the menu that you want to service. Yes, friends, in case you're trying to do a cloud kitchen with multi-brands, then you'll have to look at spacing those kitchens separately and buying those kitchen equipments. We have taken a range of 2 lakhs to 10 lakhs as the range of kitchen equipments for the kitchen, depending on the cuisine and the type of kitchen that you're wanting to put up. Then, because you have a smaller kitchen that we are assuming that you will start a cloud kitchen on, you will have limited number of staffing. So the staffing salaries generally range between 50 to 70,000. But if it is going to be you have people who are starting with their ice creams and juices and stuff like that, then their salaries also come down to 40,000 or so. So if you're looking at salaries between 40 to 70, 75,000 is the range that your salaries are going to be. So you don't have too much of overhead costs, but yes, you need to select the right candidates. That is very important. So if you do all this, I think your operations part is taken care of. Then comes the marketing aspect. Yes, friends. In marketing, you will have to do online customer acquisition. Online customer acquisition is not required at the initial times, because whatever is done through the aggregator. You use the aggregator, yes. But yes, if you want to do a building of a brand, then you need to really do online customer acquisition and social media. What do you mean by social media? Social media, you'll have to use Facebook, Instagram, Google, and things like that. You will have to build a brand, not a label. In the sense, you just don't have to be one more brand that is there. If you want to create an aura, you want to create a brand that is exclusive to you, then yes, friends, you will have to use social media. Branding and packaging is very important. Creating packaging according to the product line that you're serving. you can always look at 50 to 60,000 that you will spend. I am considering great packing that you're going to use to ensure that your brand visibility is good. POS and inventory module, yes, you will have to have POS and inventory module. This will help you standardize your recipes. This will also help you gear up on knowing your statistics on what you're selling and what you're not selling, and also will help you check on your billing, because it's not only necessary that you will only do the Cloud Kitchen sale through your third-party vendors. You might have walk-ins who will come in for a parcel, or you might have your contacts who might want a parcel or would want food for their parties across. So whatever be the case, you will need a point of sale and an inventory module. So we have taken 4 to 5,000. That again depends on the software company that you're going to use to start your Cloud Kitchen. So this is all about Cloud Kitchen that you need to spend. Now, during COVID, dark kitchen business was the next big thing, trending globally, predicts an investor. So food players are one company that is predicted the same. And there are a lot of online cloud kitchens that are really doing good. If people are able to create their brand well, if they're able to price their products well, if they're able to really put their company top of the in the aggregators module, then they're really able to do well. So going online is as easy as getting yourself enrolled into one of the aggregators who are there in your area. But yes, you need to create, dish out good food, give it on time, and yes, maintain hygiene. Now coming down to the bigger brands, how they've come and how they've created their mark. Yes, friends, we are going to look at the bigger brands. Rebel Foods is the world's biggest internet restaurant company. Yes, they have been also valued at $1 billion. So when talking about cloud kitchens, you'll be seeing companies that are valued at millions and billions. How does this happen? They have been able to expand themselves into 35 cities. And you must have heard of Fasos, Beros, or Oven Story. So they have, after reaching a level where they have seen that, yes, they are making good money and seeing that they can expand as a brand, they have used the pattern of using the social media and online customer acquisition. What happens if you have an online customer acquisition? What happens is people search for you by your brand name and then order through that. Otherwise, people would search according to the dish that they want to eat. So you have to create a brand name for yourself after you see success. Once you taste blood and you want to grow and make multiple outlets and have a name for yourself, then you will need to do social media marketing. You'll have to make your presence felt. People should perceive the quality and know your brand name, that they can suggest it to others. So if you see Fasos, Beros, Oven Story, Mandarin Wok is again a Chinese brand that does very well. The Sweet Truth is doing good. And they have other brands also that they have in their league. Like Jaideep Burman, the Rebel Foods, they have around about 4,500 employees that they have. And they have, this is the last year's thing, they have got funding of $317 million and $65.4 million of revenue. Inner Chef, Rajesh Ji has 500 employees with $2.3 million of revenue. You have Boxite. Boxite is Amit Raj with 2,000 employees and 11.4 million revenue. They have got a funding of $32.7 million. Fresh Menu, Rashmi Daga, this is from Bangalore. They came up with virtual restaurants in different spaces. They have 1,500 employees and with a revenue model of $20.3 million. This is the last year's revenue that we're talking about, friends. They have a funding of $25.3 million. Tinman, Mukesh, 41 employees, revenue of $6 million. GoHomely.com, this is again close to my heart. This is a model that's done for housewives. So if you're a home chef and you want to create a brand, then these people are the ones who make you a brand. So Rishi Sharuk, he has 65 employees and $3.1 million of revenue that they have made. So seeing these big guys, yes, you would be you would be really thrilled and you would think, yes, this is really great, and they have made so much of thing. Yes, you will have to understand what mistakes that they have also made. Even Rebel Foods has made a lot of mistake. If you see Rebel Foods had made a few mistakes in the starting, after which they fell on track and they have come this far. So let me tell you, friends, it's very difficult for you to really get into the line, understand your mistakes, and then create a success story for yourself. It's rather better to learn from the mistakes that these people have made. So it is not only about learning the success stories of these stalwarts who are there in the cloud kitchen scenario, but it is also the mistakes that they have made that you need to know and understand and learn and not make it again. Let's look at some local brands that are there. I own the brand Biryani Wala, and Hotel Hospital for setting up my cloud kitchen January 2020. And I own more two brands, Rasa Biryani and Mr. South. Presently in Malapur and Suratnagar. And we are looking forward to open Reshma Nagar very shortly. We are ready to serve even in Reshma Nagar. This is a company that started in January 2020, and they're doing a turnover of 70 lakhs per day. This is a video that's taken just 2 days back, and they're adding an outlet in SR Nagar. We are consulting for them, and they're doing around about 70 lakhs a day, and 70 lakhs a month, and they're looking at doing 1 crore a month, which will in turn make it into a 12 crore per year turnover. Presently, they're doing 8.5 to 8.4 crores per year. That's a target sale that they're looking at. And yes, before Corona, their sale was a little better than what it is today, but still they are doing good. Now let's look at he's one person who came back from Baghdad. If you see, if you see this brand, we had opened the first outlet in Jan 2020 and went upon opening the second outlet in June 2020 during COVID. They have been expanding during COVID, and he opened in February 2020 and is doing around about 9.6 lakhs per month. Forecasting his turnover to be around about a crore plus, and having a lower cost and difference is looking at expanding and making multiple outlets. Now looking at the next.
ఇది మనకి అమీర్పేటలో వచ్చింది సార్ ఆఫర్. ఇది
Yes, he just started at Ganesh Chaturthi and is forecasting a sale of at least 20 to 30 lakhs per month, which would again become 2.4 crores to 3.6 crores. The kitchen that I showed you, Cloud Kitchen, was a Chinese kitchen that we were not able to take the video of. We have other clients who have, in the other line, who have come in with food, homely food that they're serving in trays, and the other concept that could be there. Yes, friends. Now that you know more about cloud kitchens, we are coming up with a master class of cloud kitchens. What do you mean by a master class of cloud kitchens? We have a master class of cloud kitchens that's coming up, where you have an intensive master class of cloud kitchens, where you learn how to conceptualize and plan what cloud kitchen that you should come up with. You can also get a blueprint of the project implementation of how it should happen and how the kitchen should come in, and post-project operations that you'll learn on the third day. This is a 3-day webinar that we're planning, where you understand the conceptualization to commissioning of the project, and then you get to learn what has to be done post-project operations. Here, friends, we'll not only be talking about the success stories, but we will also be talking about what you should not do and why people fail. Yes, this thing is generally at a charge of 21,000 rupees plus taxes. This course that we do, three-day webinar that we do, is at 21,000 plus taxes. But yes, now we are going to charge only 2,999 plus taxes for the first 50. If you've heard it right, yes, the first 50 who register, they get it at 2,999. Here you learn the blueprint of planning of cloud kitchens and also learn success techniques used by all these successful brands. And that is how we implement these projects. Yes, so these are the key takeaways that you get. If you are an early bird in the first 50, you can register at 2,999 plus taxes. Here the takeaways are market size study. You will also get a business model, SWOT analysis, opportunities, project planning, capital evaluation, growth, and sustenance. After this, giving 5 minutes to this, we can do a question answer session. But yes, in case you wish to register, this is the Google Pay and the account number. You can take a snap. The first 50 registrations are for 2,999 plus taxes, which comes up to a net of 3,539 rupees. Yes, and this is going to happen on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th September 2020. If this is not enough, then you get this. You get lifetime access to the master class that we're going to do, 3 days access. You will get a password by which you can access the master class. So in case you're not going to use what you're going to do today, or you're going to open one brand today and you're planning to open another brand later, then you can again go back to the master class and you can study it again, understand it again, to use it to open the next brand. You also get a detailed study report. You get a sample case study. All this comes in the master class. So in the master class, you not only get a lifetime access, you also get a detailed study report and a sample case study. If that's not enough, then we give you a one-to-one coaching for queries. We will fix up a time after the 3-day master class, say 15 days, fortnight from then. We will give you a date and a time. And in case you have any queries pertaining to the cloud kitchen, you can always come in and we can have a one-to-one coaching session for all the queries that you have. We also give you a digital certification. A digital certification means you get a certificate for doing the master class. Other than that, we give you access to business loans with or without collaterals. If you think you need some business loan to grow big, to do more, then we give you access to business loans with or without collateral. If you don't have a collateral also, possibly there is a lot of opportunity that, a lot of chances that you might get a loan. And we have tied up with Ozo Loans and Ozo Money, and that contact and presentation will be there during the master class. Yes, friends, if you think you have a great idea, if you think you have the passion to do it, if you think this is the business you want to get in, then the master class is the place that you need to be. Yes, friends, if you want to get into the master class, The first 50 registrations early bird offer is for 2,999 plus taxes, which is 3,539 net.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Vishwanath. And we have a couple of questions. Mr. Krishnamurthy, please go ahead with your question.
See, this cloud kitchen concept is very interesting. That is all said and done. It's very fine. But end of the day, as he rightly said, we are totally banking on these aggregators who literally take us for a ride, and commissions what they charge are at times atrocious, and we are not even able to sustain the business model. Now, is there a way that we can get rid of all this and stand on our own and try to get the business up and running? Yes, cloud kitchen, I understand, but we can't be totally dependent on these aggregators to survive.
That's not the case, sir. For us to create the platform, in case you're looking at creating a platform and doing something like this, it will be very difficult to really work it out. But if you look at it in the other format, other way around, if you're able to price your product rightly, then because your cost is fixed, whatever rate that you fix with your aggregator is fixed, then you just have to price your product rightly to ensure that you're making your margins. So in case you don't make the mistake of not accommodating the aggregator percentage or your other costs in place, which most of them do, then you end up not making great money.
Okay, but is there a solution to go all by ourselves?
There are strategies on which we work, because of which you can see the success rates of. I gave you an example of 3 kitchens that we have done during COVID, and they're also looking at expanding, because if you do it rightly, there's nothing wrong in it. But yes, you should not make the mistakes that people have made. So we teach you all those mistakes that people are doing right now, which they possibly should not make. Some have learned through with the mistakes and stayed. Like Fasos did some mistakes because of which, after which they came into the cloud kitchen concept, and they're here, become the world's biggest internet restaurant brand. So either way is, one, you use a coach like us to do it rightly, or else you do it yourself, understand, learn it after you make a mistake.
We have a question from Mr. Prashant Vaidya. What are the licenses which is required for startup food business, especially the cloud?
Yes.
Cloud.
So now food service industry has some basic guidelines and licenses that you need. So anyway, I will be taking this in depth in my master class, but I will tell you right now that you will need the food license and the trade license, which is very important. You need trade license for any trade that you do. So you'll need a trade license, you'll need food license, and obviously you in your trade license you will have your municipal and all those licenses that will come all together. So all together, that is called the trade license. And in case you have a generator, if you have a big kitchen that you're doing and have generator and things like that, then you'll have to go for a pollution license.
And Chef, could you hear me?
Yes.
Do we need to have a FSSAI license as well?
Yes. Food license means FSSAI license. That's very important. It's mandatory, without which you cannot start your cloud kitchen actually.
And can the cloud kitchen be started in an apartment also? In a society apartment?
It can be started, but your neighbors should not have an issue. That's the only thing.
So you get the license for that also?
Yes, you get a license for that. Just that you will need an NOC from 2 of your neighbors who say no objection certificate. That is part of the trade license. So they will ask for 2 NOCs. And if that is there, then they award you the trade license.
Right, Chef. Thank you. Thank you, Chef.
We have another question.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, actually, my question was asked before this. That is, what are the licenses required for the cloud kitchen? But
Alright.
like, if I'm doing my business right now, I'm doing homemade cakes and food, and I'm giving to my customers because they know me. But if if now I'm planning for an outlet,
All right.
just as a delivery point.
Okay.
So should I be taking a license, like I am doing it from my home right now? So should I be taking a license where I'm manufacturing the cakes?
You should, madam, because once you're doing any commercial activity out of food, then you need that license. So you have to have a license if you're going commercial.
In my home address where I am.
No problem. Even if you're doing it from your home, in case
Okay.
till the time you're doing it with your friends, it will not be an issue. But on the way, anytime it could be a hindrance. But actually, if you look at it legally, then you should have a license.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Miss Fatima, I think the next question is from Miss Fatima.
Hello, Chef. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, my question was, what are the most common mistakes that occur in setting up or of the functioning of a dark kitchen or cloud kitchen?
I would not be able to spell out everything because I'm doing that in the master class where we are giving you the mistakes. But a lot of people make mistakes in terms of not rightly setting their kitchen, because of which they have a lot of operational issues that they come up with. And yes, if you don't do things rightly in terms of portion sizes, pricing, then you make business mistakes and end up having bad ratings on the platform. So you'll have to attend my master class to really understand, because we have been doing this master class with other people and they're paid to understand these mistakes. So I cannot be putting that forward in free right now. So people who attend the master class will surely get to know it.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
One more thing, sir, about the Rebel Foods you told. So what mistakes they did and learned from it?
I will see you in the master class, madam, and I'll be able to tell you what did they do and how they got it. See, in the master class, we are also going to tell you what are the top selling items that Swiggy and Zomato tells you to do. And we will also tell you how you can know what are the items that are selling good in your particular area. We will be guiding you through everything and anything that you have to do in having your product line being sold at its best. And we will also not only about Rebel Foods and the top sellers, but even the smaller players who come with individual cloud kitchens, the mistakes that they make. If you are somebody like the home baker that I spoke to right now, there is a lot of chance that you can really do very well in terms of doing a cloud kitchen and multiplying your sale and getting to places. We are helping, one of our clients is again a home kitchen, home baker, who's got a lot of value right now because of the COVID times, and now it is a great time that they're getting commercial. So if you're looking at getting commercial, you're looking at starting it in a small way with a small investment as low as 5 lakhs, then I think you should attend the master class, because the master class will be an eye opener for you. We will be talking about a lot of great things that you probably must have not even thought of, and you will realize during the process of running a kitchen. And if you're from the industry, I'm sure you'll be able to respect what we are speaking, because you must have experienced what we are going to speak right during the 3-day seminar that we're going to do. Also, we're going to speak about SWOT analysis, opportunities that are there, the gray areas where people have not actually come in and you can grow faster, how you should plan your project well, and yes, your capital evaluation that you need to do, and growth and sustenance. In case you start, after that you grow, how do you sustain the growth and how do you keep growing? That is again something that you should know. It is not that you've got a sale and then you'll be there. You need to sustain and stay. That is again the 3rd day that we're going to take that up. Yes. Any other questions?
Yes, Mr.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
We have a question from Mr. Gautam. Can we have Mr. Gautam?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Can you tell me what should be the pricing structure of a cloud kitchen as compared to a normal restaurant or E-grade restaurant?
Price structure in the sense, the product line?
Menu price, yeah, product line.
See, again, that depends on the kind of packaging and food that you're going to serve. If you see, for example, if you take a dosa or a biryani that is served, say Beru's biryani is at 1x price, and regular biryani seller will be at a Y price. So it again depends on the area and the kind of branding that you want to do and position yourself. So basically, the positioning of your space would create the brand pricing of your product. So that again comes when we decide on the concept that you're going to take up, according to which will be the pricing and the portion size that we decide.
Okay, when comparing a butter chicken, a normal dish, a butter chicken from a cloud kitchen and a butter chicken from a restaurant, which is priced probably at 500, what should be the price of a cloud kitchen? Should there be a difference? Is it necessary or it's not necessary?
If you look at it, it's not necessary, but yes, we ensure that it is necessary. You have a better pricing. That is how people are looking at cloud kitchens. If you look at the cloud kitchen concept, a lot of them tend to put the restaurant pricing onto their pricing in their cloud kitchen, but that's not the case. You're not trying to eat away the margins or the sale of a restaurant. You're trying to get more customers from the home. So what you do is you should have the right product at the right cost. That is when people will not cook at home and order your food. So that is the challenge that you should have and keep in mind and price it accordingly. So that's when you'll not try and price it like a restaurant. But yes, if you're creating a brand like a restaurant, then yes, you can price it like a restaurant. So you can do it both the ways, but most of them would not be doing it like a restaurant for sure.
Okay, Chef. Thank you.
I'll also tell you one more thing. The reason why these people have come into the market, Swiggy and Zomato, is not to take the sale of a restaurant. The restaurant sale is going to remain where it is. You have these successful restaurants that are doing good. But yes, what are they targeting? They are targeting every person has 100 meals at home. 30 days, 3 meals, 90 meals. You have a tea, coffee, or a snack sometime here and there. So they're looking at 100 meals from each person, out of which they're trying to extract at least 10 to 15 meals out of every person. So that is the target audience that they're looking at, and that is how they're able to succeed with so many orders that they can get for you.
Okay, Chef. Thank you.
Thanks.
We have,
Hello, Chef.
Gautam.
Yeah. What is the minimum and the maximum space required to start a cloud kitchen?
Anywhere between say 300 square feet to 2,000 square feet.
And the cost, the maximum cost that you could put in investment?
See, there are people who have done cloud kitchens for even 60 lakh rupees with multiple outlet spaces where others can come and do a plug-in kitchen for themselves. So it really depends on what stage or what state of place that you're taking in. If you're taking a barrel land, you have to do a shed for you in the barrel land, do the walls, civil, electrical, plumbing, then you will tend spending a lot of money. Otherwise, 5 to 15 lakhs is a beautiful space that you can play around in and do a wonderful job.
Can you also succeed without the support of the aggregators?
Quite impossible. Quite impossible is what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's impossible, but yes, you will need lot of efforts. You will need a lot of marketing money that you will need to spend and create a brand of yourself. Even most of the biggest brands also are trying to be a part of these aggregators. And when people like Amazon come into the market, then it really would not make sense. It is better to understand what they're going to charge and price yourself accordingly and portion yourself accordingly and make your profit.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We have Mr. Satish Kumar next with this question.
Hi, Chef. So I just wanted to know what are the kind of margins that you can expect in a cloud kitchen vis-a-vis a dine-out restaurant in terms of percentages, considering that you have to give almost 25 to 30% to aggregators.
See, what happens in a restaurant is restaurant you're supposed to be earning 33% of margin, wherein you tend to make between 20 and 30%, mostly 20%, starts and goes to 30%. That is the range that you make money in. In a cloud kitchen, you end up making margins between 15 to 25. I will be showing that in the masterclass of when and where you make what kind of margins. And this is the margin area that you play around in the cloud kitchens.
Thank you. We have Ms. Tabassum Sheikh with a question next.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, Chef. I hope you're doing good. It was a great session, by the way. So, my question is that if one of my friends say she's a home baker and she's trying to establish into a cloud kitchen, and if I do a collaboration with her,
yes.
Okay, and if I start, selling out her goods under her brand name, kind of merchandising. So, will I be needing a different kind of license for that, or is it fine if my friend is already has an existing license for her?
So the delivery would happen from that kitchen, or would happen from your place?
It would be the same kitchen, but I would be a medium through which the delivery would be happening. So,
it is good to have the food license on your name, but the space is the same, so one food license is enough.
Okay.
Yes.
Does this also fall under the category of a cloud kitchen? So we collaborate with one of the brands and then
Yeah, you could do that. It's not an issue. You can do that.
Okay. Okay.
We have,
Good evening, Chef.
Yes, good afternoon.
So this is Varun here.
Hi, Varun.
My question is there any specific guidelines to establish a cloud kitchen?
Yes, there is. Like you have a process of doing anything. If you are establishing a factory, a restaurant, you have a particular cycle of doing works. So similarly, you have a cycle to do to set up a cloud kitchen. And as you're going to deal with food, so the area of licenses, goes around the food aspect of the cloud kitchen.
Chef, one more small doubt. Can we get a link to know more about the masterclass which you are speaking about?
Yes. So what we are going to do in the master class is we have a 3-day course. Yes. So on the first day, we speak about how do you conceptualize your plan. You might have a plan A, but we would be helping you decide a plan so that you are getting onto the right track. If you are on the wrong track, see, sometimes you have a plan but you don't have the money. You have a plan that is not going to be very successful. So we're going to help you out with understanding what should you be doing rightly. So your conceptualization is clear on the first day, and we help you plan according to the concept that we create for you. The second day, what happens is once your concept is created, we help you understand how you should be implementing that concept. In terms of, we give you a blueprint that you can create for yourself. We also have case studies that we will be taking in the middle for you to understand, how people have succeeded and things have been done. So there you understand how the project can be implemented. Where are the places that you need to spend money? What are the kitchen equipments that are required? And what is the packaging that generally is used? What is the new packaging trend that is there? And stuff like that. And third day is once your product is ready, what do you do in terms of marketing it, branding it? How do you run your checklist? We'll be giving you a checklist also on how you need to run your kitchen very effectively, and ensure that, yes, we will give you tips on how your product line. See, if you see any area or zone, you will see that you will have around about 300 restaurants that are there listed in the aggregator model. You need to be on the first page. You need to be there for you to be visible. Or when people are searching, you need to be visible so that you get more and more orders. So we help you with those tricks that you need to play and be there, and by which you start making great money. So yes, you need your that is the kitchen and the spacing rightly planned. After which, once your place is ready, you need these things in place so that you have great sales. Once you have great sales, then scaling it up becomes very easy, and then you can start looking at brand establishment that you can do. So these 3 days are broken down into 3 parts. One is before you start implementing, second day is implementing the project, third day is after you implement the project. So we break it down, we give you checklists, we give you project reports, we give you idea of how much you need to spend where and what gets into what. So things like that. So once you do this masterclass, you will be very clear on what you want to do and when you want to do and how you want to do.
We have a next question from Ms. Nirmala Ram. Can we have Ms. Nirmala Ram unmuted? Ms. Nirmala Ram. We also have another question which is being asked on a mail. Already 3 people have enrolled for this masterclass.
Great.
Can we have Mr. Parimal Doshi?
Hello, Chef. Hello, Brijesh. Good afternoon. I have 2 questions. My question number 1 is, for an item like biryani,
yes, sir.
What about serving smoked food along with the biryani? Do you think that concept would become unique and good, and it would sell? The second question I have is, in view of the COVID-19 guidelines from FSSAI, which have been released in two parts in April and June, the capacity of any kitchen, that means if you have a 300 square feet kitchen, would it not reduce to half, to 50% as per the current guideline? That's my question, Chef.
So I'll answer your first question and then get into the second question. The first question is very simple, where you're asking me for a novel food menu that you're talking about, is it workable or not, right?
Yes, with smoked food.
Yes. So now what happens in the masterclass, we will be telling you about how you can play around. See, there are different kinds of menu that you generally have. One is the mother selling items, that is the regular run-of-the-mill items that sell well, and two is creating menu products that are very unique. So we will talk about the market share and the positioning. See, it also depends on where you're going to position your product and where you're going to trying to sell it, and what is going to be the price range to the product quantities that you're going to work on. So that is something that you really need to work on before you really do something like that. But yes, there is no question that things like that cannot succeed. They can succeed. And but yes, you will need to have little more money in terms of creating a brand. So you'll have to invest some more money towards branding, but it can become a brand by itself. It can stand out and be a brand by itself. Coming down to the point of the COVID FSSAI rules that have come for after post-COVID, yes, we need more spacing in terms of the kitchens that you need to have. And that is how, depending on the kitchens, we have gone up to 2,000 square feet. Otherwise, 1,200, 1,500 would be the last that we generally suggest for a small cloud kitchen that comes up in the budgeted range. So in case you're going for an extensive space, then you need bigger kitchens for sure. But when you're going for a smaller module of a cloud kitchen, then yes, your spacing is going to increase by 20-30%, but that can be fairly managed.
Chef, I thought the guideline was very clear. It's 50% of the capacity.
Yes, 50% of the capacity, sir, but your store remains the same. Your wash areas remain the same. It is the cooking area. See, you will have to look at the whole kitchen, not just the dishing out area. So you'll have to plan it accordingly. And so that's how the 30% when you add on works out to be good.
Chef, just to introduce myself, I am in the business of selling imported equipment and concepts. So we have a specialized smoker oven, and that is the reason I was asking the question. And we deal with a lot of other equipment, and that is just for your information. So for me, taking the masterclass would not be of any use, since I'm not going to be setting up cloud kitchens. Thank you.
Very happy to listen to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. We have a question from Mr. Nagaraj. What is the percentage of food cost which you generally incur in a cloud kitchen?
It totally depends on the product, Mr. Nagaraj, because each product has a different costing pattern, and keeping those costs in mind, we do our pricing. So it cannot be told, but generally the bookish marking of a costing is is generally 30-33% is what the people say, but then obviously generally it is higher towards the cloud kitchen.
But I think what he's trying to ask is whether the relevance between the restaurant food cost as well as is there a variance between the cloud kitchen food cost and the restaurant?
Not much, but yes, little higher sometimes. Depends on where we are positioning ourselves. Not much, but little higher sometimes. If you compare it to a fine dining restaurant, then yes, your costing will be very high. So again, it depends on what kind of restaurant that you're comparing yourself with.
And he's also asking us about the manpower cost. What would be the rough estimated manpower cost to run a basic cloud kitchen?
In any business, what happens is when you start in any business, when you start one outlet, you don't get the maximum profit. But yes, when you start expanding, you start making more profits. Your profit margin starts becoming bigger and more. So if you look at the cloud kitchens, it is the same here in the cloud kitchens also. You start making bigger margins when your cloud kitchens numbers increase. And coming down to the staffing price, the staffing price reduces as you make multiple outlets. Yes, for the first outlet, you will want the best to be there with you, and it will not be too high, but yes, it will be high.
We have Mr. Niluri with a question. Can we have Mr. Niluri unmuted, please?
హలో
Yes. Hello. Hi.
నమస్తే సార్.
Namaste.
సార్ నా పేరు సమంతకమణి. నేను ఆల్రెడీ ఒక 8 months అలాగా ఇట్లా కిచెన్ ఒక 100 square feet లో పెట్టి తీసేసాను సార్. అంటే నేను మొత్తం మిల్లెట్స్ తోనే చేసేదాన్ని. జొన్న రొట్టి, రాగి రొట్టి, సజ్జ రొట్టి, సామ రొట్టి, అరక రొట్టి అట్లా. జావలు అంటే మాల్ట్స్, ఇడ్లీ, దోశ, బిర్యానీ, స్వీట్స్ చేసేదాన్ని.
ఓకే.
మిల్లెట్ పునుగులు అంటే ఇంక వేరే ఏం కలపకుండా ప్యూర్ గా చేసేదాన్ని.
ఓకే.
అయితే నేను మిల్లెట్స్ మొలకలు కట్టి ఇడ్లీ రవ్వ, ఉప్మా రవ్వ, జావ పిండి, రోటి పిండి.
అర్థమైందమ్మా, అర్థమైంది. అంత యాక్సెప్టెన్స్ రాలేదమ్మా?
కాదు సార్ నేను అది తీసేసింది ఎందుకంటే యూనిట్ పెట్టడం కోసం అని తీసేసాను సార్. ఇది మిల్లెట్ యూనిట్ పెట్టాను సార్. అంటే ఇడ్లీ రవ్వ, ఉప్మా రవ్వ చేయడానికి పెట్టాను.
ఓకే.
బాగుంది. అయితే ఇప్పుడు నాకు ఇది నేను కిచెన్ కూడా పెట్టాలనుకుంటున్నాను. ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు కోవిడ్ వల్ల చాలా మంది పేషెంట్స్ కి ఫుడ్ అవసరం. ఇది
చాలా డిమాండ్ వచ్చిందమ్మా మీ ఫుడ్ కి. చాలా డిమాండ్
సార్. ఇమ్యూనిటీ పవర్, రెస్పిరేటరీ పవర్ పెంచుతుంది. అందులో మేము స్ప్రౌట్ చేస్తున్నాం కాబట్టి చాలా టేస్ట్ గా ఉంటది. అయితే మాకేంటంటే కొంచెం భయంగా ఉంటుంది సార్. కోవిడ్ వల్ల మేము బయటికి వెళ్ళలేకపోతున్నాము. సో
మా నంబర్ తీసుకొని మీరు మాస్టర్ క్లాస్ లో వచ్చేస్తే మీకు కరెక్ట్ ఐడియా వచ్చేస్తుంది ఎలా చేయాలని. చూడండి, లేకుంటే యూ కెన్ ఆల్వేస్ బి ఇన్ టచ్.
మాస్టర్ క్లాస్ ఎక్కడ ఉంటది?
అదే ఆన్లైన్ లో ఉంటదమ్మా. దానికి ఇక్కడ గూగుల్ పే నంబరు ఇది ఇచ్చాం కదా, దాంట్లో చేస్తే ఆన్లైన్ లోనే ఉంటది. మీకు క్లియర్ గా ఐడియా వచ్చేస్తుంది. ఫస్ట్ రోజు ఏంటంటే మీ చేసిన క్విజీన్ మీరు ఇప్పుడు చెప్పారు కదా, ఇది చేయాలని ఉంది, దీనికి ఏం ఎలాగ చేయాలని మొత్తం చెప్పేస్తాము.
నాకు లైసెన్స్ కూడా ఉంది సార్, ఫుడ్ లైసెన్స్ ఉంది.
సో ప్రాబ్లం లేదమ్మా. లేకుంటే కూడా ప్రాబ్లం లేదు, ఉంటే కనుక కూడా ప్రాబ్లం లేదు. ఉంటే ఇంకా మంచిదే. ఏ అడ్రస్ మీద ఉంది చూడాలి. అదే అడ్రస్ లో చేస్తున్నారా లేకుంటే వేరే అడ్రస్ చేస్తే షిఫ్ట్ చేయడానికి హెల్ప్ చేస్తాము. అది మీరు ఓపెన్ మైండ్ తో వచ్చేస్తే దాంట్లో ఎలాగ మంచి ప్రోడక్ట్స్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి, ఎలాగ మనం సేల్స్ ఆస్పెక్ట్ చేయాలని మేము మీకు మార్గదర్శనం ఇస్తాము. చాలా బాగా చేయవచ్చు.
ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే, గ్రేట్. థ్యాంక్స్ అండి.
Thank you. Can we have Mr. Mohammad Ashraf Ali with this question?
Yeah. Good evening to you, sir.
Good
evening.
Can you hear me? Good evening. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. See, actually, I was asking this question: if the project costs, let's say 5 lakhs, what is my investment? I mean, of course, there will be a bank loan, and which you will help out after go to the master class and things like that, right?
Yes.
So, how much will be my investment in this process as such? Like in 5 lakhs, what will be my percentage?
See, that totally depends on the banker, how much he says 25 or 40% is what he would say. So that I would not be able to tell on his behalf, but they have their own parameters, according to each bank, they have a different parameter. But you can always tend to have at least, say, 40 to 50% of the money that you should have if your bank loan is getting approved and going through.
Okay. The next question is, if I have localized equipment, will that do, or should I have the equipment that you showed? That kind of, any particular equipment?
Not really. See, when I showed you a kitchen, we had imported some, Chinese airbro grillers for them. So even if it is going to be a rustic kitchen that you're planning, we can help you out. We get kitchens of any format, designed for you. We are doing kitchens that are made with, although we don't generally suggest that we suggest people should have a more hygienic kitchen. But then if you have some constraints and you're looking at kitchens to be done and civil or using a second-hand equipment, we can also help you in that. Yes.
Great. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I think Mr. Utsav Balaji has something for you as well. Mr. Utsav Balaji, he has raised his hand. You have a question?
Yeah, good evening, Chair.
Good evening, good evening.
Yeah, I have 3 questions.
Yes.
Can you send personally chefs or staffs here to train us?
Where is this?
It is in Salem, Tamil Nadu.
Yes, we can. We have associates in Chennai, and we will have people come to your place when setup is happening and things like that. We can help you with manpower and training and things like that also. Yes.
Yeah, you have any analyze what food will go in our area like that? You have any specific foods for that?
We can during the master class, we will be able to tell you in 5 minutes what sells good in your area by using technology, and we will tell you, guide you how you can find out what is better to sell in which area.
Okay.
We make you a master businessman.
Okay, thank you.
Please ask the question in terms of a chain of cloud kitchens. Do you have something to say about a profitable chain of cloud kitchens? Is that the way forward?
Yeah, that is a big way forward. In fact, if you look at Rebel Foods, they are growing 4 or 5 times faster than what McDonald's did. What McDonald's took to do in 50 years, they're probably going to do it in 15 years. So that is the speed at which they're growing. And you could always look at a big chain, because that is where the money is. If you're coming into business, it's not only passion. At the end result, you will also look at money. So if you're not making money, passion will not make much of sense. But yes, money with passion will make great business. So in case you're able to make great money, that is when you will want to make branches. And once you get into the mode of creating a chain, there's no looking back.
Thank you, Chef. Thank you for your time, and it's been a very good session for most of them to have an overview.
Thank you. We would like to thank our powers. In fact, VFire is Warrior in Electronics, which is powered our webinar today. We would like to thank them. We would like to thank Synergy, Mr. Brijesh, for your wonderful support to do this webinar. We would like to thank each one of you who have attended this webinar and made it a grand success. Thank you so much for coming in, patient hearing, and I'm sure and I hope that you have got something out of this. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.